Ladies and gentlemen, we're back once again. It's your boys here at the Digital Bath Podcast. The week has come to an end and a new one has started. And now, today, we're going to talk about the famous PlayStation 5 event that happened just this last Friday. And I'm excited for it. Before we do that, I'm going to do some introductions here. Of course, in front of me, I have Dakota Burton, the red-bearded boy himself. How you doing tonight, man?
I'm gonna start selling used underwear for us.
Okay. Like on our OnlyFans?
Yeah, I got a lot. I got too much underwear.
Oh, so it's just your used underwear.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
but I'm doing fine.
all right.
Digital bath.
Yeah. Everybody, keep your ears open and your eyes open for the Dakota Burton's used underwear. To my right, again, man, I can't say it enough. The smooth talker, the caramel molasses, just dripping, beautiful voice.
Just leaving stains
Just
every
leaving
step
stains
he takes.
everywhere. There's not a dry pair of underwear in the house while we're selling Dakota's underwear. Jesse Mateo.
I'm so sorry.
I have to go. This was fun. This is great. And then I just leave, and there's like a slime of molasses around me.
Give the folks just like a sample of your smooth voice.
Hey, how you doing?
That's real smooth. That's like butter. Good job, man.
Thank you.
Molasses butter.
I will talk like this the rest of the episode.
Well, I'm going to have to sell my underwear too. And of course, me, the shortest one of the group, as always, the mini fridge, Nick Savannah. Excited to get this episode started, so let's do it, boys. Let's christen this episode by clinking our drinks. Have a good old time.
This one's for Chris. He's not dead or anything. He's just not here.
He's just out of state.
Yeah, he had to go to a wedding. You know, he had adult shit to do. It's real dumb. So, but yeah, I mean, we're going to be talking about the PlayStation 5 event. I had a great time watching it. There was a lot of really cool trailers that came out. But we're also going to be actually watching the videos and the trailers as we're doing the podcast, and we're going to be reacting to them, giving our opinions and what we thought about everything. So, but before we get into that, of course, we always have our weekly news segments. So we're going to start off with the news.
Hell yeah.
What you got, Jesse?
Well, starting with a little sad one, but comic writer Denny O'Neil has passed at the age of 81. O'Neill's work can be attributed to creating the darker persona Batman is known for. His work on the comic series lasted over 14 years on the Batman comic alone, and he played a key role in the Silver Age of comics for Wonder Woman, Justice League of America, and Green Lantern / Green Arrow. So I tip my drink to him.
Absolute
probably
legend.
Cheers.
Legend. It's the reason we have a Batman animated series. So.
Rest in peace.
All right. With record companies now dropping the urban word to describe department and music genres, the Grammys has also dropped their use of the word urban, which was a term typically used for traditionally black music genres. The Best Urban Contemporary Album is now Best Progressive R&B Album, and the Best Rap / Song Performance is now the Best Melodic Rap. And so there are actually other genres as well that they have.
Melodic rap, huh?
Melodic rap, yes. There are other uses of that word. Latin urban is now Latin alternative, Latin rock, and I believe best Latin pop performance. So they are just dropping that word entirely.
That's good, because there's a stigma behind that word.
Oh, that was always such a stupid thing.
It really was.
Lizzo's Grammy is being corrected.
Oh, good.
She most recently won the Grammy for that category.
Okay.
And so they are going back and fixing that for the records as well.
All right.
Latin Urban Award, huh?
Not for
Groundbreaking.
That's all I got.
All right.
Got two things for you guys. So first off, Persona 4 Golden coming to Steam. It's out now. You're gonna get enhanced graphics. You're gonna get the audio and the Japanese. The English and the Japanese audio. There we go. It's a DLC. No, you'll get the English and Japanese audio as well with the enhanced graphics. There's two versions of it out. So they have the still full package, but it's $19.99 if you want to get the game in its enhanced edition. And then they also have $24.99. That's going to get you a digital soundtrack and a digital art book. So it's kind of cool. I think $5 is fair, but it's kind of cool to still be able to get that stuff, especially since this game was on PS2 first, and then on Vita. So, and this is the golden version, which was on Vita. If you had a Vita, you had this game. There was nobody I knew that had a Vita that didn't own this game. So that's really cool. And then secondly, to the shock of all 17 NASCAR fans, the sport will be banning the image of the Confederate flag from all of its events and campsites. So this is coming off the heels in response to Bubba Wallace, the only full-time black NASCAR driver, asking for the removal of the flag. NASCAR, in a post on Facebook on Wednesday, had to say that the presence of the Confederate flag at NASCAR events runs contrary to our commitment to providing a welcoming and inclusive environment for all fans, our competitors, and our industry. Bringing people together around a love for racing and the community that it creates is what makes our fans and sports special. The display of the Confederate flag will be prohibited from all NASCAR events and properties. So I think this is the perfect time for that to happen. And if you want to future your businesses, these are things we're going to have to start doing. And for NASCAR to do this, which is, I mean, that flag is almost tied to NASCAR. I mean, it's there in droves at the events. Is a really mature and forward-thinking idea for them, and I think it will honestly bring them in a lot of new fans. So really cool to see.
Yep, I agree. And it's coming from the top down, which is not something you see a lot.
No.
In today's industry, especially in America. But coming from the top down means a great deal, and the fact that one man was able to speak his mind and the reason why, and had plenty of reasons why, and able to make that change with them, it speaks volumes on the people who are running that company and trying to better themselves and move forward with it.
Yeah, at least there's one sport willing to listen to their black athletes.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least the commissioner came out and admitted that he messed up in front of everyone. So, and that takes guts too. Now,
it does.
He messed up in the first place, but
doing it in the moment's nice. But I guess retroactively is okay.
I believe they are removing the Confederate flag from the Dukes of Hazzard car as well.
Well, I think they've done that before with like recreations of it. But you're talking about like from the show? They're gonna like digitally remove it?
No, I mean like the actual car.
Oh, the one they have up in their there's like, it's in a museum or something.
Oh, I'm sorry, a NASCAR museum has it. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. Yeah, because even when it was on, if you guys remember, Burnout Paradise had it. There was no flag on the top. Mm-hmm. So, and I think I saw Amazon or Hulu, whoever has the rights to Dukes of Hazzard, is contemplating just removing the show. I think we're at a point where we have seen companies go back and just remove some of that imagery. Magic the Gathering, I'm just kind of shoehorning this in now. Magic the Gathering is making around 9 cards illegal for play because they feel that the imagery is not in line with their beliefs now. So, I mean, we might be seeing some other people doing stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound off about this, but I think there's one thing about being able to take certain imagery away that you're trying to portray and sell to a general mass public. I think it's also one thing of, and this sounds weird, just work with me here. You also don't want to erase history. And what I mean by that is these things need to still be kept maybe as a museum or in a museum or something, or some sort of historical remembrance, because it still needs to be remembered that these people went through these atrocities. It still needs to be remembered that this is
there was bad stuff
here that we had to overcome, and this is what you don't fucking do in the future. Right,
and I mean, we're on the right side of history on this. The right side won that war, and so yes, in a museum, we've got shit from Nazis and other things like that, and show this is what people of that time were fighting against then. So
all right, well,
let's talk about some video games.
Let's talk about some video games. So speaking of video games, Star Wars Squadrons, the new dogfighter-like ship game from EA, was accidentally leaked on Friday, June 12th on Xbox's website. Soon after, EA took to Twitter to finally announce the reveal trailer for their game that will have taken place when you hear this, just this last Monday, June 15th. While there will be single-player campaign, Squadrons is said to be centered around multiplayer.
Okay.
It seems EA will release the game in the fall on PC and consoles.
They also updated their Facebook for it, too. I love when shit gets spoiled and those companies have to, announcement.
Yeah.
Is it built with the Frostbite engine? Do you know?
I don't know yet. I haven't dug that deep. It might be.
Is it DICE or is it someone else?
It just says EA right now.
Okay.
So I'll dig a little deeper. They might have said that, but I haven't seen that yet.
If them ships control anything like they did in Battlefront, I'm not going to be good at the game.
Yep. Also, the show Cops has been canceled after their 31-year run starting in 1989.
What you gonna do?
The announcement came from their parent company, Paramount, and was canceled due to the rising protests against police brutality. A spokesperson from Paramount stated, Cops is no longer on the Paramount network, and we don't have any current or future plans for it to return. The Paramount Network, formerly Spike TV and owned by Viacom CBS, picked up Cops in 2013 following its cancellation at Fox. So it's noted that it has been canceled before, but it was picked up by another company. It's possible it could happen again. Someone else could pick them up. We'll see. And they'd have to tread very lightly if someone were to pick that up.
I'm gonna be honest. I think that show should have died when it went to G4. And they played it like 12 hours out of the day.
Wasn't that syndicated though? That wasn't the actual network, was it?
I don't know.
I thought that was syndicated.
That might have been when it was canceled. The in between, but Cops G4 had the live PD or whatever, the campus PD show.
Yeah,
that did start on G4.
Yeah, some of that stuff came from that, but I'm pretty sure on G4 it was syndicated because it was at Fox for the longest time.
Shocking news that Cops was still producing new episodes. I didn't know.
Yeah,
I mean that show.
Like, who watched that show?
It was dated. I mean, it was fun to watch back in the day.
It had 32 seasons, and it was just about to do their 33rd season, and then it got canceled. So it was picked up again, but then because of everything going on, they decided,
everyone that took a sick day. That's like the viewership.
Well, finally, on a sad note, it's possible we might be seeing the end of Chuck E. Cheese. A new report says that the company is experiencing debt upwards of $1 billion and has been reaching out to lenders asking for around $200 million just to keep their company afloat. As of now, no one has come forward to answer their plea. So,
where's Freddy when you need him?
Freddy Fazbear. Yeah.
Sorry, Chuck E. Cheese. I'm gonna need a couple of them prizes as collateral.
Yeah. Do you think Chuck E. Cheese has a voice, doesn't he?
Yes.
What does it sound like?
Hey, kid. I don't know. I just
God. I just figured he'd be like Mickey's like cousin, like, hey, you want to play with me?
Yeah, he's a smoker. Yeah. He's like, instead of, he's like, hey,
you want to get my ball pit?
Hey, you want some pizza, kid?
Yeah, fucking smoking his cigarette while he's got the pizza going. 3 minutes. Give me 3 minutes.
You want to get in my ball pit?
But now he's like really small. It's weird.
What?
The new Chuck E. Cheese.
Oh, you mean this the mascot on the commercials and stuff?
Just take our voice, but like squeakify it.
Me and all of my friends went to Chuck E. Cheese for our formal 9th grade year, our winter formal.
Classy.
Yeah, we were all like,
how did you get in?
They just let us in.
He looked like a baby.
Seriously, we called him up and we were like, hey, we want to do our 9th grade formal at Chuck E. Cheese because we're goofy. And they were like, come on in. And we went and we got in the ball pit and took pictures in the ball pit and everything in our winter formal gear and their dresses amazing. And everything. Yeah, it was actually kind of fun.
I don't want to see Chuck E. Cheese go away. I think that is a needed thing for kids. I think it's I mean, I don't know if Chuck E. Cheese ever doing anything evil before, so as far as what I know of them, it's a great outlet to take your kids. It's a great place to
we at least have Going Bonkers. Ooh, nice.
In Topeka.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Magic Forest.
Oh man, R.I.P. Magic Forest. Is Going Bonkers locally owned? I believe it is, isn't it?
I think it is. Yes.
Where I lived, we didn't have Going Bonkers, or not Going Bonkers. I'm sorry, Magic Forest. We had Discovery Zone.
Oh, I like Discovery Zone.
Yeah. So some people have heard of it, some haven't, but I had Discovery Zone, which was basically the same thing. So it was, I remember going there and Chuck E. Cheese a lot when I was a kid. But I think they took out ball pits, actually, from Chuck E. Cheese.
Quite a few years ago.
I think they had an incident with a kid being suffocated or something.
Tons of incidents. People having needles thrown in there. Yep. Animals like snakes.
Yep.
I mean,
kids pissing in there, and it was like cleanly. Yeah, there was just a whole bunch of problems.
Yeah, so if you were in a ball pit, you might have
you might got something else. So we were all in a ball pit.
I fell in the pit.
We fell in the pit.
Sorry.
Everybody go to Twitter. # keep the ball pit.
I fell in the pit.
Yeah.
All right. Well, guys, that's it for news. So why don't we get on to the PlayStation 5 event? How does that sound?
Yeah, we're gonna react to some of our favorite trailers. So we won't be reacting to all of them, but kind of give you guys our 2 cents on what we feel with what they showed off.
Let's do it.
So first up here, it's at 5:50. Yeah, 5:50. The new Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Spider-Man. I'm ready, man.
Mm-hmm.
I did everything you could in the last game,
Sure
and
did.
that story had just enough difference that it really felt new.
Yep.
They took lots of chances with that storyline, and were not afraid to make some huge ramifications for the character. So I'm excited what they do with Miles as well.
Yeah, they did a great job of making me feel for characters whose stories I've known for decades.
Right. And the one thing about Spider-Man 2 on the PS2 was the traversal in that game.
Yep.
At the time it felt like you were Spider-Man. And then the other games did okay with it, but like Spider-Man 2 was kind of that.
It was special.
It was special. And then you get Spider-Man on the
Insomniac.
PS4 and then Insomniac just...
The momentum.
Oh my god, you felt like you were just flying everywhere through that city, and it was amazing. It was phenomenal.
And it looks like they're taking a big key from Into the Spider-Verse with the music, which is the best way to go with that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm super excited. If you loved Into the Spider-Verse, this is going to be like a great expansion for you.
It's so funny because a lot of people were expecting. We knew a Spider-Man game was coming.
Mhm.
We didn't know who was making it. We thought that the studio behind Sly Cooper was going to make it. And now they're doing Ghost of Tsushima, which nobody thought they would do. And Insomniac's doing this, which nobody thought they would do. And so it's cool to see these Sony studios that have been around for a while, like reinventing themselves. It's really awesome. And it's cool to see those studios still around with Sony. So, and I know they have now officially bought Insomniac with the last console generation.
Mm-hmm.
So, and as far as Insomniac saying this is a standalone game, that is what they've said. So, we'll see. It looks awesome.
Yeah, it's you could kind of attribute it if you ever played like Infamous Last Light or something like that, where it's a standalone, but it's still a part of the original concept of the game. So it's not like Spider-Man 2 Miles Morales, it's just Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Yeah.
Which is okay with me because Ultimate Spider-Man, that's what it was, right? Ultimate,
Yep.
no, yeah, Ultimate
Yep.
Spider-Man, yeah.
He started Ultimate Spider-Man.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
There's
a
a video game called Ultimate Spider-Man, and
I
you
was
were throwing
very
Jesse off.
confused.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, wait a minute, that's
Which
a
that
game.
game was phenomenal. I wish they'd gotten a sequel, but and we were ready to play as Miles if you played
Yeah.
the one that came out before this. We knew that we'd probably be playing as Miles coming up,
Or
so.
at least having him as a playable character in the next game, too.
I think if this is not my hopes, this is a $60 standalone game. I want a fucking another one, but if this is a smaller standalone game, then I would love for the next one to be Peter and Miles. So
Mhm.
and kind of start
like back and forth play or something.
yes, kind of GTA style where
Less
you
of
can
the Mary
choose.
Jane play, more of the
Oh,
Miles play.
think about that GTA play, like press down on the D-pad
And
all of a
like
sudden
Miles is over.
Miles is already swinging around. Oh,
Well,
that'd be fucking dope.
Well, and like Ultimate Spider-Man did it too. I mean, you
Yeah.
could, during the story, you played as either Venom or Spider-Man, and at the end, you got to choose who you play as. So, but yes, more of the GTA style would be really cool. I think we should still have Mary Jane parts, but I hope we get some exclusive abilities for Miles, though.
I'd like Mary Jane parts.
Less.
Yeah, I mean, I like parts of Mary Jane as well, but
Okay, that got weird.
go get him, Tiger.
Or correct. I mean, who else is gonna disagree with me out there?
Not Miles' dad.
Ratchet and Clank. Did you guys play the old ones?
Yes.
I religiously played the PS2 ones. I missed out on the PS3 ones, but then I played a PS4 one. It was really good.
Yeah. So I gotta admit, I only played the first one.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's a
only-
good series.
Well, this one looks really interesting. I mean, they have the new like dimensional rifts that you can go through, and
Yeah, they're really trying to use that PS5 technology
yep.
to quickly change the environment. So
Yeah, and then they said, of course, they're going to use whatever feature the new controller is going to have.
yeah,
Every launch title is.
yeah, they shoehorned that in. I mean, it looks great. It looks like Ratchet and Clank. It's still by Insomniac. I forget, but I mean, this is one of my favorite platformers. I love these games.
Yep.
The movie one, the one they came out with when the movie came out, so it
Yeah.
was basically a remake of the first game.
Yeah.
Oh man, that
It
thing
was really good. It was beautiful too. It still
Yeah.
looks great.
yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck's going on in this trailer though. This is all brand new characters, I believe. I mean, unless they were. I mean,
Yeah,
these pirates.
Ratchet.
The pirates.
Ratchet's all new.
The pirates are in the PS3 game, right?
Yes,
So, wasn't one of them called like "Give Me Your Booty" or something like that?
of course.
Was it really called Give Me Your
I
Booty?
have no idea.
Okay,
I
was
think they
like,
had the word booty in it. I mean, they had one on PS2 called Up Your Arsenal.
yeah, I
So,
remember that one.
Going Commando.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cocked.
No.
Was it the Ratchet and Clank games that had the they were the PlayStation commercials that had the different crazy
Yes.
guns that would turn people into chickens and everything?
and they would launch them.
I loved those commercials.
Oh, they were just like
and
they were
there
like
was
a
a cute
continuation.
little girl
Yeah, we
Ratchet.
got like a chick. We got Winter Soldier up in this thing with
Fem Ratchet.
I mean,
pretty Ratchet.
She
No, we
just
can't
is a
call her
ratchet.
Ratchet.
Yeah, she just is a ratchet.
Their Lombaxes.
But yeah, those commercials were really familiar to like the Crash Bandicoot ones.
Yeah.
That guy looks created in a lab.
That's
His
mean.
his lip.
Stop.
Do you guys remember the
You're
Mario
mean.
Party 1 where you got to like raise in their faces and everything? I think that's what happened to his lip and they just kept it there.
Homeboy's got an invisible fish hook on his lip.
Yep.
Just
Still looks better than me though.
relax it.
Relax it.
Relax.
Ratchet's all-new arsenal is more exciting than ever.
I'd be interested to see like this can't be the same team that's been working on Spider-Man, right?
I would assume it's not.
Insomniac has to be massive by now. I
By
mean,
now, yeah.
they still usually work on one game at a time, so it's kind of cool. I think that they have stayed pretty true to form since their inception.
So they're finally into gameplay, and we were talking about the rifts earlier, and the whole point of this one is the dimensions from pretty much all the games and probably more are starting to collide with each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you have this new grapple gun, basically, that grapples these dimensional rifts and pulls them toward you, so you can either teleport into another area that you see across, like from a bridge or something, very quickly, or to another dimension in general. And it's pretty interesting, but yeah, it definitely is kind of like what Rise Son of Rome was for the Xbox One, how it showed purposefully what all the new features to the system was. This is one of those.
Yeah, I think it's going to play well.
Yes.
I just don't think it's going to reinvent the wheel on anything.
No, I think it'll just be
A pretty fun little Ratchet game.
It's so weird to think that like staple PlayStation games that only got like one game on the PS4. Like, there was only one Ratchet and Clank game. There was only 0 Jack and Daxter games.
Well, these games kind of got lost over the years in popularity and people caring about them, which kind of sucks because, like, I loved the first Ratchet and Clank game when I played it. And I don't know why I never picked it up. I think I was probably too focused on other games at that time.
So there's a really cool weapon that he's using. It's a flower bomb. So he's throwing it, and it is causing vegetation and flowers to grow around him, showing off some of the new effects that they have.
Yep. And if you guys want, you can go onto YouTube and kind of watch certain things with us. We'll talk about what we're watching. We're not going to watch the entire event, but if you just type in PS5 Sony conference, I mean, you'll find it on there. So
I was talking to a friend of ours, and he was like, I really don't think there's a big difference between the PS3 and the PS4. And I was like, go back and play a PS3 game. Like, as far as what we're looking at, you're seeing far more particles and far more things being split apart, and your draw distance, your ability to see things in detail is, like, ridiculous.
And your frame rate.
Your frame rate as well is a huge thing. 60 frames per second hopefully will be a staple for every game that comes out on this generation.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we also have to think about, like, what PS4 and Xbox One games look like now compared to when they first started coming out. Okay, so we're here at 20 minutes and 50 seconds here. We're seeing a new game from Housemarque Game Studios. It's a new franchise, they said, for PlayStation, so that's really exciting. It's called Returnal.
So, yeah, it's definitely interesting. The first thing that I noticed about it was like, hey, cool, a female lead.
A badass.
Like, which you're starting to see more of, but this is one of those games where I was like, okay, this is interesting. I like space.
I think that there's an affinity for, like, space survival to have, like, a badass chick. So we're seeing some dark imagery here and some space exploration. So it's probably looking like, she crashed onto an alien planet she's not aware of that had some kind of civilization there before.
Yeah, it definitely seems alien / demonic.
I'm getting vibes from Live Die Repeat. Like those monsters and the style of them look a lot like that movie, and it's funny because that's pretty much what this game is.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I never saw that movie,
A
so.
movie with Tom Cruise and what's her name, Emily Blunt.
Are you getting any Prometheus vibes at all?
Wait, I thought that was called Elysium.
No.
No, Elysium was with Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
So once they actually started showing the gameplay, and I mentioned this before, the bullets are trailing. A lot of the projectiles are trailing, and it kind of gives me a little bit of a bullet hell vibe, just in that it looks like you'll be dodging a lot of projectiles. See how they're trailing like that? Mean. So there might be patterns and stuff you have to pick up on that the enemies are doing in order to kind of like maneuver around them. But I mean, Homegirl she's got
Edge of Tomorrow.
She's got a gun.
Yeah, that's not what
also
it's
called
though.
Live Die Repeat.
Yeah.
They changed the name.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
I always remembered of Edge of Tomorrow.
It's called
So,
both.
yeah, that one's definitely interesting. I thought it looked pretty cool. Jesse's not in the same boat with us on this one, but
yeah,
we'll
there's
see.
only room for 2 people in the boat.
Wow.
Look, dude. Look, Sony's fucking bringing new games.
that's true.
I'm not gonna complain. I love Xbox, but Jesus Christ, do something else besides
With your games, yeah.
Forza, Gears of War, or Halo. I mean, they're calling it Halo Infinite because that's all they're gonna fucking give us. So,
Wow.
but yeah, Returnal looks cool.
I think it does too. If you like kind of the spookier type things, and if you like shooting a lot of like demon-esque alien type things, and probably a pretty deep story, then
Yeah, it looks like there's going to be some crazy story, and I think you're going to find a lot throughout this event. People that are a lot of studios that are wanting to do more experimental stories, but also like if this is kind of a bullet hell style third-person shooter, that could be
I'd be
those
more
things,
interested if that's what this game turns out to be.
right? And those are where we start to get new genres. And being in the video game industry for this long, it's rare that we see new genres or new takes. So.
All right, at 3410, we got Ghostwire Tokyo coming up here.
So I know you guys have been interested in it. It has the word ghost, so I'm terrified. But something about this seemed interesting to me too.
It's definitely got some creepy vibes, but I think it's gonna take a turn for some more like supernatural thriller.
Yeah, almost like a Shin Megami Tensei, or
Yeah, it's a good.
even Persona. Like it just kind of seems like the worlds are blending here.
yeah, I agree. The thing that I'm worried about is that a lot of the imagery that you're seeing is super cliche.
Yes.
It's schoolgirl ghosts. It's like a Slender Man type dude with a umbrella. You have floating women in dresses, like, which that might be what it's trying to go for. And if it is, and it all plays correctly, then it might be good. But I don't know. I was a little bit more disappointed in this one.
So they're saying that this is one of the most realized versions of Tokyo we've ever seen. It's in first person, which I think surprised all of us. The combat looks very interesting. You're in first person, and it looks like you're using some sort of abilities. Almost, he almost has like a spirit gun from Yu Yu Haka, but it almost looks like you're cleansing areas of Tokyo.
Yeah. What are those things called when they in Naruto or whatever that they do those things?
Ninjutsus?
Ninjutsus. It looks like he's doing ninjutsus.
It kind of does.
And so the combat threw me off.
Yes.
Because I didn't expect
We
it
were-
to be
no.
not even close. It's got a cool name, Ghostwire Tokyo. It's going to be in first person, and it looks like it's somewhat open world. That, in Dakota's right, you're cleansing areas.
And I will say this is from the mind of Shinji Mikami, who created Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm.
We'll take that for what it is. He's made some bad games in the past. So,
like Resident Evil.
hey, you shut the fuck up. Anyway.
You get the fuck out of here. How dare you? How dare you?
Wait, he can save it. Resident Evil what?
Operation Raccoon City.
Yay, he's
Okay,
back in the
yeah,
fold.
all right,
Okay.
that's acceptable.
Ding, ding, ding.
I forgot this was a Bethesda game,
Uh-huh.
which makes sense because Evil Within was a Bethesda game.
Sure was.
This is not something we've seen before, right? I mean, this
True.
is still new game stuff. Like, I'm so excited to just get new styles out there.
I see floating ladies every day. I don't know what you're talking about.
And we're still waiting for the test results on that. But I think you guys might be a little let down that it is not very spooky. It does look very more.
I don't
very much
expect a
more.
lot and being scared from video games anymore. I will say Outlast 2 did a really good job atmospherically.
In any Far Cry game where you have to get in the water.
Yes, anything with water. But, yeah, not many games like really scare me like they used to anymore.
That's true.
Unless it's a triangle face.
Oh my god, I was gonna say that. No triangle faces, they scare me.
So if you're still following along, at about 52:10, we get a kind of a surprise that...
Rumored surprise.
Yeah. There's some things going around, but we got a Demon's Souls remake.
I don't think I thought it would actually happen. It was just one of those nice ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Looks beautiful.
It looks absolutely gorgeous.
It's a shot-for-shot remake of the original trailer.
Yep.
Yes, it is.
And when I remember watching this and I was like, why does this look so familiar? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember. I almost killed myself when I played this game because it's so hard.
It's the reason Blair had to get a new controller
Yeah.
for his PlayStation.
Yep.
I want to try it at least.
Here's the thing that will be good. Not the graphics, but the controls are going to be updated, which was probably the hardest part to learn about this game. It does not control anywhere near as well as the Dark Souls series.
Not at all. Yeah, there was a lot of problems. Don't get me wrong; they're still going to pull out every cheap shot they can at you this game. I mean, I remember watching videos because I didn't actually beat this one because I'm a noob and I couldn't get past like 2 hours of it. I got so fed up because of the controls and everything.
Dragon.
But they literally are like cheap. Like they'll have little corners that you can't see past, and you'll be on like the cliff edge of something, and a random skeleton will come out and kick you off, like, and you would have never known. Like, yeah, it's crazy.
Do we know if this is from FromSoft or if this is a side studio?
I think it'll actually tell us. It's by Bluepoint, I believe.
Bluepoint. Okay, that's right. And Bluepoint was rumored to be working on a previous Sony game. So there were a lot of speculation. So I think this means that there are certain other things people were thinking of, like a Metal Gear or some others that are obviously, or Silent Hill. That was another thing.
That was another theory.
So those are laid to rest. So Konami is still
fucking up.
Well, Konami has the game 1 and game 2 of the leaks that that are still yet to be announced, which could come in future PlayStation 5 events. So
what's funny is I think that those were more leading rumors than Demon's Souls was. So it's funny that one actually came to fruition. But it's I mean, this is what started basically as a genre at this point now.
Oh yeah,
of
the Dark Souls series.
The Dark Souls. I mean, it all spawned from this, so it's exciting. I didn't get a chance before to play it, so it'll be exciting now. Did it have multiplayer?
Yeah. Yes.
Demon's Souls.
Demon's Souls.
Yes.
Okay.
It was fucking awful though.
As awful as Dark Souls 3. Remember how hard it was to get in a match on that?
Yes.
Dark Souls 3 wasn't awful when you actually got it to work. It was getting it to work that was the fucking pain in the ass.
And the problem is, people that joined your game could ruin your world.
Yes.
It went off of like a dark experience if you like killed too many NPCs, and it just ruined. Like you could die faster, and enemy or items cost more money. Like it was really awful. So yeah, it was
gross.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Man, Bluepoint's on it, man. They're making all these crazy remakes, and
what else did they do?
They did Uncharted. They did the Uncharted remasters and everything.
Oh, really?
They've done quite a few. They're top tier when it comes to remakes and remasters. It's still Japan Studio, which is good.
So if you're with us here, 54 minutes, 19 seconds, we are getting Dishonored 3. We're getting a new game from Arcane Studios that did Dishonored, and this looks very much in the same wheelhouse as that.
It's called Deathloop.
It looks very much inspired by like 70s European culture. Very much like the orange colors and the not leisure suits, but almost kind of, like what they wore then. Mm-hmm. Kind of clockwork orange-esque.
This could very well be in the world of Dishonored.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Because in Dishonored 1, it's like a 40s-esque, like, not cyberpunk, steampunk.
Steampunk,
yeah.
And so
yes.
this could, I could see this being like a continuation, not of the story, but at least of the world.
Or in the same universe, kind of, where they may never meet, but it's just a fun tidbit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're seeing stealth gameplay. We're seeing open environments that you can sneak through. Very much in that wheelhouse.
I feel like if it is in the same universe, it's in the future though, because the things that they're wearing,
That's what I'm
of
saying.
course.
Yeah, I think this is like the 70s version
of the 40. Yeah, okay.
Of this world, whatever
Yeah.
world it was.
Yep.
Back in the first game.
Bethesda's become such a big studio or a big not studio
Publisher.
but publisher.
Yeah. Well, it's not a bad idea. It's pretty smart, honestly.
So this is kind of where we get our first sense of when the main character dies, he comes back. So there's going to probably be some kind of death mechanic as to how you tackle the levels.
Yeah, kind of what I got from it is, and I'm almost interested to see if it is like this, but one of the scenes show you get shot basically once. Now, granted, it's a CG scene. I don't know if it's actual gameplay, but it shows you get shot once, and then you go back to the beginning of the loop. So I almost wonder if it's one shot, one kill, and you have to go back and remember the loop better and better and better every time to get through it.
Yeah, the point of this game is that you are being hunted by these people for their leisure. So you die, you come back, and you go through the day again. And it definitely has the magic abilities from Dishonored.
Yeah.
He's flipping people with just his mind and can teleport. So
Yes, and also, yeah, it'll be way better if it's like a in the moment thing where you reverse and not like loading screen into back where you were. That would be super annoying. And it's also looking like there's going to be weapon customization maybe, and we're also getting the first instance of the female protagonist in the game that you may also potentially be playing as.
who is hunting the other character.
Yeah, so it looks like not only is he running from the people that use this island as a vacation place to hunt people, but also another assassin.
Yep.
Very graphic, very gratuitous. It looks really awesome.
Yeah.
But very much like British
Austin
70s.
Powers.
Yeah, Austin
Yeah,
Powers.
it definitely looks like you rewind to at least the beginning of
The area?
at least that area that
Yeah.
you were going through. Or there's probably certain things called, of course, loops.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're
Oh,
in that
yeah.
loop and you die, yeah,
Could see him finding something that like makes the loop stop at a certain
Yeah.
point.
yep,
Yeah, if at first you don't succeed, I think it said
Die again.
Yeah, die again. So yeah, we're seeing the female assassin there. So I think with the technology, I mean, you could have done something like this with consoles now, but where hopefully it's a quick restart for you back into the loop, or maybe you have an ability that you're able to have a safe place of where the loop restarts, kind of like Prince of Persia, almost. You could rewind so far.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
yeah, and I think that's cool because there's definitely hidden areas. It's first person, so there's areas where you can't just see, right? It's not third person. But I think the fact that the system can render how fast you go backwards, and those people that you might have just killed are already back in their areas immediately that you can run into, and everything starts right back over. I think that shows also the power of the system too. Because yes, I think you're right. You can do that with these systems, but could you do it as fast? Would there need to be some sort of load time?
Sure. Yeah, it'll depend on if it's like Dishonored, where it's open areas, because there is kind of like almost like a Doom area size, levels of what you can explore in that.
Some more sandbox.
The worst way I think they could implement this is if they try to do something like the bonfires in Dark Souls, to where you go back to those if you die. I think that would be really bad on them if they try to replicate that.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, at 57, well, we're at about 58 minutes here. We have a new franchise. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. Resident Evil?
Is that what it's called?
Oh, well, it's called Village.
Are you sure you don't
Village.
mean Evil Within 3?
No,
Oh.
Village.
Oh, okay. Resident Evil Village. I've
No,
never
it's
heard-
it's Village Resident Evil 8.
Very much, I'm getting like an Outlast 2 vibe.
Funny enough, I'm not. I'm getting a Castlevania vibe from this game.
Why?
Okay, so keep watching, and we're going to see,
I mean, it's definitely like an Eastern European village.
yeah, very much Resident Evil 4 as well.
You know what they're bringing back in this, right?
Las Plagas. I'm just saying things.
I'm going to say a cohesive storyline.
The inventory system.
Which one?
Resident Evil 4.
Well, shit, get your Tetris games ready, everybody.
If you guys don't know, Resident Evil 4 by far had the best inventory system. You basically had a suitcase that you played Tetris, and you were able to put a bunch of things in there however you wanted to.
So you can tell that this town is hiding from something. But it looks like the same art style as 7, the photorealistic graphics.
Mm-hmm.
It looks great.
The monster that they show off is almost a more werewolf than what we've seen.
It looks like a beast man for sure.
So I don't know if you guys were paying attention to the leaks about this game that were happening a few weeks before this. The guy who was leaking this stuff was dead on accurate. So he obviously was truly leaking stuff because he said the name of it. He said where it was going to take place. He even released screen captures of this stuff, which it looks exactly like all of it. And to be honest, when I was first watching this, and I had no idea this was a Resident Evil game because it looked so far out of the loop.
Right here, I was getting vampire vibes.
Yes.
Then obviously the Wolfman right here, and then like almost like a Van Helsing type character shows up. Like I was like, is this Castlevania?
Yeah, I could see that. This guy, yeah, he looks nuts. And then we get this really interesting tidbit right at the end. So, how do you guys feel about the new titles that they give the games?
Oh, I think they're cool.
Yeah, I think they're cool.
So, and this is a direct continuation. This is Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, yep. Ethan is, it looks like the main protag of this game, which was the main in 7.
Yep, here we go.
Chris? Sorry.
I'm assuming that's Mia.
I think that's who it is, too.
It could be.
Jesse's not sure.
It could be.
It might not be.
I don't know who else he would be that, like, upset about Chris
His
shooting
daughter?
in the fucking face. Oh.
Or Zoe.
Yeah.
If Zoe joined them
That's
from
true.
7.
That's true. Not the same voice actor that from the Resident Evil 5 or the movies.
Correct.
It's the voice actor, I believe, from Resident Evil 7
Uh-huh.
for Chris Redfield.
Yep.
So, but he looks different again in this game.
He still looks fucking jacked, though.
He looks
like a...
But he also looks older.
Yeah?
He looks quite a bit older. Like if you someone posted a screenshot of it, and when I went back and I looked at it, I was like, yeah, he does look older.
He looks like old Resident Evil 5 or Resident Evil 6 Chris.
But-
It could be the art style a little bit, too.
Well, what I mean by older is I mean him himself is older. Like
Yeah.
he is of older age.
yeah.
But that's not what he looks like in Resident Evil 7, which is weird.
Oh,
Right,
yes.
that's what you were saying.
Correct. Yes. And I've talked to you about that before.
There could
Give
be
give a quick version of your theory.
tinfoil hat on. I think that there are 2 Chris Redfields. There's an OG Chris Redfield from the first game and from Code Veronica. He goes missing. We get new Resident Evil Chris from 5 and 6.
Yep.
And one of them's evil. I don't know which one, but one of them is playing the other.
I think the reason I think the original Chris Redfield is evil now is because he shows up in 7, if that's him. He
Sure.
shows up in 7 in an umbrella.
The new blue umbrella logo.
umbrella logo, and he has a DLC called Not a Hero.
Yeah, did you play it?
Not all the way through.
Oh, okay.
I started it and just didn't beat it because I'm.
Yeah, he's basically cleaning up shop.
Yeah.
He's getting rid of the rest of the bio weapons.
Really? Is that who you play as?
Yeah, you play as Chris.
That's fucking cool.
And he's taken out what's left of the monsters in Resident Evil 7.
in a not so great way, and this Chris looks more reminiscent that we're seeing in this trailer of Chris from 5 and 6, and he
Very much so.
very much so. He doesn't have the skinnier face. He has he's bigger.
He's going to punch boulders in the
Yes,
face.
he's going to punch boulders in the face in this.
He looks like a hitman. He looks like he's there to clean up shop. I mean, it starts with him fucking shooting someone in the face.
That's true.
Right, but we don't know the context of
And
it.
Mia could still be, controlled or evil or...
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
she technically worked for Umbrella as well.
Yes, she did.
So, and I like the angle that they're taking because Resident Evil became such a thing where, like, you were, like, this total badass, surviving these zombies.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like 7 brought a vulnerability,
Poor
very
Ethan.
much so, to, yeah, that guy goes through some shit. So, and there's still, that angle's still here in 8. So, but we see, like, Chris and Leon and the other protagonists we've had are kind of unstoppable forces. Like they go, but he's gone through some stuff where he's not always the winner. So it's cool to.
Yeah, and well, it also Ethan. I can't remember his last name in 7. It starts with a W.
Walker.
William Dafoe.
I just made that
Ethan
up.
White. Is that it?
White.
Sure.
I all I know is I think it was Resident Evil 2. You come across a report, and it talks about scientists that worked for Umbrella.
Oh, yeah.
And the name Ethan W stands out.
Winters.
Winters, that was it. Ethan W
Weird.
stands out. And there's, so it's possible that Ethan at one point could have worked for Umbrella as well back in the day, and that's how him and Mia met, maybe, or,
Mm-hmm.
so maybe there's more to the story that we find out here. And that's why this Chris knows Ethan, or I guess it could be the old Chris, and the developers don't know what the fuck they want Chris to look like.
Yeah, that would be the worst situation.
Yeah.
It's just weird because he went from a much more thinner profile like he was in the original games to this. Anyway, sorry, going way off topic here, but I'm excited to see where the story goes. I think they've been taking some really fun liberties and Resident Evil 3 unfortunately tried to stay too safe. So I think we'll get some real fun with that game.
Yeah, Resident Evil is one of those other games that we're really passionate about. Jesse probably more than anybody, but I love Resident Evil. I played the shit out of all of them except for 6, and
I played the demo for 6.
You mean the giraffe getting blowed by the person?
mm-hmm.
You seen the logo for 6?
Yes.
Yeah, looks like it.
Yeah, I own the internet.
You own the internet?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. You make lots of money.
So next up at an hour and 3 minutes and 40 seconds?
Yeah.
You get one of my most anticipated games for the next gen consoles, Horizon Forbidden West. It's basically Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
One of my favorite PS4 games, easily.
Yep. I need to go back and play Horizon Zero Dawn again because I was dumb and I was like, man, I need to get through this game so I can play Mass Effect Andromeda.
Ooh.
Yeah.
One of those aged well.
Yeah.
Well, one of them didn't age at all.
But I remember absolutely playing the shit out of Horizon and telling Jesse about it. He started a little bit after I did, and he got into it. And it's one of my favorite PS4 games.
Mm-hmm.
It is beautiful. It plays really well. It has a crazy story.
Good progression.
Great progression.
Super detailed. I saw when they were doing this game, it only renders a certain radius around your character to fill it with as much detail as possible. So it's almost like there's a veil around you and nothing's really coded until it's right in front. It's really cool.
And it looks like in this one there's some sort of new fungus or something that I don't know. It could have been something because of what happened in the last game. But it's been released and it's basically killing almost all the plant life and the animals that you're seeing. And it definitely seems like there's more actual animals in this one now too. A lot more.
This is Guerrilla Games, right, of Killzone?
Yes.
So it's, I mean, this came out of nowhere. It was a great reinvention for them.
Scary.
I'm hoping...
Crocodiles? Ocean monster.
So are you guys also hoping for, like, varied environments, too, then? I mean, that's kind of what I'm getting the vibe from this, right?
Well, I mean, the first one had varied
China right here.
environments.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I guess around the globe.
So, this is supposed to take place in America.
Okay. So this is her journey to America.
This is her journey to the
From
West,
Europe?
Forbidden West.
No. From
Where
the
was-
East Coast.
From the East Coast.
She was
Okay.
like in Boston?
Oh,
Some-
okay.
one of
something
the,
like that, yeah.
One of the New England
But
areas.
she's supposed to
Okay.
be in the western part of America still.
So that was like Chinatown or something. Then now we're in
Yeah,
California.
'cause there's
Okay.
the
As you
Golden
can
Gate
tell, I only
Bridge
got
and-
about 10 hours into the first game. I'll be replaying
Oh, and there's
that.
a guy from John Wick.
Yep, and he's got some cool shit going
and
on.
Quantum Break and a whole bunch of other random crap. I don't even know his name.
Never heard of it.
I can't
just
remember
kidding.
his name.
So,
But this fungus seems to be killing a lot of plant life. There's still a lot more, of the robotic dinosaurs going around,
Which are awesome.
Which are awesome. It looks gorgeous. Guerrilla Games actually made Killzone, the Shadowfall, and that was called, Killzone Shadowfall.
that game was fun.
They made that specifically to test out their engine so they could make Horizon Zero Dawn.
Well,
That's hilarious.
glad it worked out.
Me too.
We're seeing a really cool rival clan here too.
And it seems like the rival clan was actually using robotics on their own armor.
Yeah,
In a sense.
I mean, and I talked to Jesse about it before we watched this trailer. I really loved the weapons and kind of the, then this came out before Monster Hunter World, right? So like they kind of, what Monster Hunter World did, this game kind of already did with some of the creature battles. But I'm hoping we get new upgrades and new augments we can do to the weapons that we had before, plus some new ones. But
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited.
that's going to be a game that people put a lot of time into.
Y'all are not ready for this.
There's another 2K game.
Yeah, 2K basketball. Have fun.
You shoot hoops.
So then that kind of brings us to the end of the event, and they of course reveal the look of the new PlayStation 5, and
It's fucking weird looking.
it looks like a Wi-Fi router.
It looks like a building from Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Vin Diesel's about to fucking fly out of it.
If you guys have been following us on our Digital Path
Digital Path. Ooh, I like that.
Digital Path, yeah.
Ooh.
Digital Path Podcast Facebook. We started a thread about posting your memes because, my God, people did a lot of Photoshop work with this console.
And if you're not following us on Facebook, you should be.
Yeah, give us a like. Man.
Facebook and YouTube.
Yeah. The first thing I'll say is, as much as I'm making fun of it, I kind of like the look of it. It's different. It's
I'm
weird. I'm in. It's different. It's weird, but I love making fun of it.
So I'm almost on board for it, but I just don't like the asymmetric look. I wish the disk drive could have been somewhere in the middle or just
Yeah.
somewhere more symmetrical. I'm also wondering if I can lay that bitch on its side.
Right. It's so if you don't know what it looks like we said, it looks like a tower from Dubai or a Wi-Fi router. It stands up on its end and it is kind of curved, and it comes to almost a point like a collar does.
It's like an hourglass.
Like an
She's
hourglass.
curvy.
Yeah, she's
she
curvy.
got a big booty, and
she's
into
got
it.
the two sides of it are white, and the middle is black with blue lights that kind of protrude out from the middle of the
Yep.
console.
And it kind of has like a, I don't know, like kind of like a popcorn kernel at the top. The way that it kind of opens out.
Yeah, like a
from the-
collar. Like I was saying, it's
Yeah.
kind of like if you
Yeah, it is like a popped collar.
like a popped collar. Honestly,
Seto Kaiba would be very proud.
How much of a bitch do you think it's going to be to dust that thing and clean the inside of it?
Ooh.
That's why I hate white consoles.
Uh,
Oh man, they do white controllers, white consoles, all of them. They get so dirty so quickly. Even if you're a pretty clean person.
They get dirty the same amount, but it's so much more apparent.
Okay, yes, you're correct. It's more apparent on a white console.
I've tried to stay away from white controllers since the 360. I feel like everyone had at least like one
Mhm.
white 360 controller.
Yeah.
And those things would get fucking gross in the seam lines. And like you would take
Yeah.
a toothpick and ugh.
Yeah, disgusting.
Disgusting.
It's still, I don't know. I even though I make fun of it, I like the look of it.
I like it. I've always liked it.
Yeah.
I've been getting into build a PC, did some stuff, watching modding stuff. If I can easily take those fucking white faceplates off and spray paint those bitches and customize them, I would be so on board for that. Or if they were able to, you remember back on 360, you could buy faceplates and
Faceplates.
shit.
Oh, yeah.
Let's bring it back. Let's
Yeah,
bring it back. for
Yeah,
this.
I'd be cool with that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I'm cool with it too.
Here's
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, obviously, it's staring right in front of us. The biggest announcement of the console is that there is also a digital edition
Mm-hmm.
of the console.
We're in the end days of
This
gaming
is-
as we knew it.
I believe this is the last time we will see a disc console.
I do too.
I agree. I just hope we're wrong.
I can't imagine with where gaming is going. I can't imagine 6-7 years down the road that we will still be doing discs.
And here's why. Nobody's complaining about this digital edition at
Yep.
all.
I have not seen a single article of
Well,
people complaining.
I think that's because they're launching at the same time with a physical version, like a physical disc version. I think it would have been different if they were like, "Oh, it's digital."
You know what? You know what's funny? You give people the option, and a lot of people, me included, kind of, are like, if it's $200 cheaper than
Oh
the
my god, I
physical
said the same
edition,
thing the other day. Yes.
I might make the jump.
Yes.
So like, this isn't the first time. Xbox One has a discless
True.
Xbox right now. No one fucking remembers it. No one, like, if you talk about it with casual gamers, they've never heard of it. It's out there. So, I mean, we'll see the reception. But yes, if it is 20% cheaper or 10%, God, hope not 10%, that'd be fucking crazy. But, or I'm saying if $200 is 10%, that would be outrageous. But yes, if it is marginally cheaper, I could see people swinging for that. God, what is that going to do for the video game industry?
Mm-hmm. It's going to change a lot.
What's it going to do
different things.
for used video games?
Well, coming from a, I mostly game on Xbox. I mean, I love my PlayStation 4 and I play my PlayStation 4, but I mostly play on my Xbox. There was a moment where because I'm getting the Series X, there was a moment where I said, I don't play on my PlayStation as much. Maybe I go for the digital version if it's cheaper. Like that was one of my first thoughts. Maybe I just go for it if it's $100 cheaper or $150 cheaper. And I kind of hate myself for that because if they ever make a Bloodborne 2 or something like that,
Oh no.
I'm buying a physical version. And that was the other thought that went through my head. So I was like, looks like I'm getting the disc version of the console.
And also
Right.
your Blu-rays.
Yep.
It said 4K Blu-ray, so
Right.
And I-
The Series X will do that.
What I also brought up with Jesse, though, is the backwards compatibility. Like, if you do want to play some of your previous games, my PlayStation 4 is on its last leg. Like, it does not keep the discs in for very long. It's fucking loud. Like, I need to bury it in the backyard. So, like, I need to have something that can play my PS4 games. We are out of console generation. Like, with PS3 and 360, it was a little bit easier for me to let go. There's games on PS4 and Xbox One I'm not going to be ready to let go of yet. It's just how it is. It's where we're at. So I need to have something I can put No Man's Sky into.
God damn it. I was going
Fuck
to make
you.
a joke and you didn't. You did it.
He made the joke just by saying it.
It's not a joke for him.
No.
We do know that there's going to be over 1,000 games that are day one backwards compatible on the PlayStation 5. So even if it is a sizable difference, I'm getting the disc version. I am. We fought digital for so long, and we were leading the charge for physical based games. But boy, have we kind of changed our tone in the last year. For certain reasons, it's been a very good financial option for us to switch to digital for certain reasons that you can find out for yourself. There's ways you can partner with people. So it's been a great time for us to be able to play games with friends and stuff using that method on Xbox. So I don't see myself not doing that, but I cannot not have the option to put a disc in.
So saying that about, discs and everything like that. So the Xbox Series X has a disk drive, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of its main features that they've talked about the entire time is what? Is to be able to switch
Cloud
from
gaming?
5 different games
Oh yeah.
seamlessly without barely any load time. And the only way you can do that
Is digital?
is digital.
So,
Because you can't
that
put
makes
5
sense.
discs.
No.
You might be able to put a disc in and then switch to a digital game.
I'm sure.
Sure. But you can't put 5 discs
This ain't 2002. I don't got a 5 disc
Yeah,
CD
right?
changer in
Yeah.
my car.
That's not the way it works. So it's still kind of leading you towards that digital life.
And also, I kind of reminded myself of that. How is that going to work with cloud gaming, with Sony and, well, I guess really more Bethesda and Xbox pushing that really hard, I feel. But, am I going to be able to put a physical copy of Cyberpunk 2077 into my Series X Xbox and then, take my controller into the living room with my phone and play it from there? Or is that only going to be a digital feature? It's going to be a thing. They are full force invested into it. We are going to be playing next gen games on our freaking cell phones.
Oh, Project X Cloud is a thing.
It's a very real thing where it sounds weird. We're going to be doing it. So your console is going to be a hub, but all your devices will be playing these games.
Yep.
So is that a physical thing? Is that a digital thing?
Maybe a little bit of both. Possibly.
And Xbox has the program going where you can buy the game on Xbox One and then you'll get it on Series X. So maybe that's how it'll work as well. And they have plenty of practice with that because they did a great job with backwards compatibility on the Xbox One, where okay, your key to get this is the physical copy. You put that in, the digital version runs while you're cloud gaming. Who knows?
Right, yeah. There could be many different things with it.
How do you guys feel about the controller?
Well, it feels like an Xbox controller.
I think we're so many generations in, everybody's decided between Nintendo, Xbox, and Sony, this is the way you do a controller. Yep. I just think it is.
You think so? I mean, the analogs are still both on the bottom.
Yes, that's a Sony thing. I don't think that's changing anytime soon.
Yeah.
But they've got the haptic feedback in the triggers. That's was Xbox been doing it. They're gonna have the magnetized triggers as well, which is Xbox been doing that. You're gonna get more of a curved look, and they're getting rid of the little bezel in the middle that's been known from the DualShock for the last generation.
True. So. Yeah, it has if you look at the handles of it on the bottom of the controller,
it's a pretty sexy looking controller.
Oh yeah, it looks fantastic. The handles on the controller
yes.
look almost exactly like an Xbox One controller.
One part of the controller that's concerning me, and it's that giant middle portion on the top.
So that is still a touchpad.
God
that
damn
is
it.
still also a button.
Of course
and, everybody loved the lights so much that, everyone loved that the lights fucking just shot off of your controller. They're like, now we're going to put it on the front so it can beam me in the fucking face while you're... I'm
so stupid.
Cool thing about the controller, though, built-in mic.
Oh my god, why is that not been a thing?
Such a good idea. Like, that's one thing about this new controller. I'm like, ooh, okay. So people who don't have the money to get a headset or forget, or maybe their headset breaks and they can't go out and buy a new one right now, they still have it right there. They don't need to connect like Chris to still talk through.
And who better than Sony, who's a leading technology company, you know, who does their own audio equipment?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure it's going to sound fantastic.
I hope. I mean,
But do you remember the earbud? Do you remember the earbud that came with the PS4?
Butts.
Oh, gross. Yeah?
I just hope you guys are comfortable hearing me eat Cheez-Its while we play. I can't mute it, so.
You do that now with a headset. I don't know what not having a headset's going to change about that.
Michelle tries to shove food in my face while I'm talking to you guys on there. I'm like, they're fucking... And I have to take my headset off because I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to ASMR, like, all in their ears. And oh god, it's gross.
See, and then I'm in a game room and I lock the door so my girlfriend can't get in. So.
I don't
We all live our own
She
lives.
comes in with an axe.
Here's Amanda. By the way, shout out to her podcast. She has put our trailer at the beginning of her last 2 episodes. So here's an official shout out for they're called Blood Related, a horror movie podcast. It is Amanda and her younger sister. They talk about horror movies, so check them out if you haven't. They just did Shaun of the Dead. I got to watch that with them as they did. It was a great time. So Blood Related.
It's awesome, man. They watch the movie and then they talk about the movie afterwards because Clara doesn't, the younger sister.
Right, she's 12.
12.
Yeah.
She loves horror movies.
And they're watching like gratuitous ass shit.
Yeah,
too.
yeah, exactly. And then she talks about it like, like you would any other person, but it's funny to get someone that young's perspective on some of that stuff.
Absolutely.
Because, she'll say things like, well, the dude with the weird blah, 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 or, whatever. So it's pretty good. They live streamed our Facebook Live Silent Hill 2.
And you were giving them tips.
I was giving them tips, and I was like, go here. Oh, wait, no, go here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, shout out to them. And Claire, for you, ratatata.
That means something.
Yeah.
It's code.
Anyway, so, again, controller's white. I hope we get an all-black version.
What?
White.
It's white.
It's better white. We're still getting that sweet-ass D-pad. And then
That's an ass D-pad?
Sweet ass D?
Yes, sweet-ass D-pad. D-pad. Yeah.
I threw him off.
Sorry.
Yeah, it looks great.
Looks like a fucking controller.
Yeah, it looks futuristic. If it's going to be as big as what their people are expecting it to be, it's
not
bigger
like the
than
Duke, right?
No, it's going to be bigger than the original PS3.
Wait, what? Oh, the console.
The console, not the controller. The console.
Nothing in the world could ever be bigger than the original design for the PS3 controller.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
the boomerang.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
Dude, we just like
Stereo
fucking broke
sounded,
the sound barrier with that.
right.
God damn it, Nick. So it looks like we have a USB and maybe a USB-C in the middle there. And then underneath that, I think I can see the Netgear logo.
Dude, what if they had a console that had its own router in it?
I wouldn't need it. I hope that I can lay it down though, because is it a rumor or isn't it true that like it's harder on your discs if they're on this, if your console's up on its side?
Isn't that what all PC
I think
are?
No, because it would go in. It still goes in on its side. This disc would. Discs don't go in. This way.
Trays. I think trays. It doesn't matter because it has
Trey Songs.
He doesn't know who that is.
I don't know who that is. Yeah, I don't fucking know who that is.
I'm about to die.
Trays, it doesn't. I don't think it really matters because you literally have that little area where it holds it there, so it wouldn't matter any which way. But when it comes to like
the slit.
The slit, yes. When it comes to the slit,
okay,
that might be a different story.
Like
but I don't know. I don't know for sure, to be honest with you.
Let us know. We have no idea.
Yeah, if you guys know if the slit is better or the tray is better, then
Yeah, are you guys going for the slit or slitless console?
We'll make a poll: slit or slitless.
Yeah,
slit not.
DM
slit not.
Yeah,
not.
DM us with your preferred preference. Did you guys see though that the inside of the? I don't know why they did this. I think they almost did it to troll us. During this trailer, it zooms in and shows that what the inside of like the material is. It's like a rough, coarse material that will 100% catch dust.
Yep.
Why did they do that?
I don't know. I have
Jesse,
no
what
idea.
the fuck? Why?
Because Sony knows you'll buy it,
Yeah, I will.
and they also want you to be clean.
Controversial thing here. with the way things are, and we'll see pricing and stuff, I just spent 4 digits on a computer, and building that. What am I going to get from an Xbox that I can't get from that computer?
Friends.
I have, yeah, fair enough. Game Pass is on there. All of the Microsoft exclusives are on there. Sony has actual games that I need to get a PlayStation to play. If, like, the only thing... I'm going to get it because, for some reason, all of my fucking friends, we play all our multiplayer stuff on Xbox because it's a better multiplayer experience. Just the ecosystem is better. But it's almost like PlayStation is just not trying to fight anymore. Or not PlayStation, sorry, Microsoft. Not trying to fight anymore with it, and so they're trying to partner with PC. I don't know. It's a very weird place for them to be in. Someone elaborate.
No, I
Give your
agree.
idea.
I agree. I mean, but it's not everything is available on the PC.
Not everything.
That is
You're
on
right.
Xbox. So that's
You're right, but
that's your.
it's so close though.
It is.
Well, and
it's
here's-
pretty close, and it could be in the future.
I was just saying, that's a lot of money you just invested in
Absolutely.
that computer. To the average gamer, are you going to want to spend over $1,000 on a game PC that
Right.
you will, in turn, probably have to update in, 5 years?
The PC?
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah.
Versus a console, which you said you've had your same PS4 since
launch.
Since launch. You spent $400 on that console.
Yep.
That's more than half, or less than half of what you spent on a PC.
Mhm.
So for...
It's broken now though.
Yeah, well, it still works.
How many 360s did you go through?
Too many, but I didn't pay for more than 2.
Oh, the truth finally comes out.
Well, interesting.
Sure. But yeah, I just think that PC gaming is still an art in a way,
Sure.
and I think that for people that master it, it's the best way to play a game.
We're all going to end up with both consoles at some point. Like, that's the kind of gamers we are. We're
Yep.
going to have everything. We have everything. We've always had everything.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's just where we are. This is our passion. Video games are every part of our life.
Absolutely.
So,
At the end of the day, for me, it's convenience gaming.
yeah, absolutely. And if I can switch between 5 games on the fly, like, I'm sure that is going to be just fucking sexy. Because you can do it between, like, one app and one game, I think, right now
Yes.
on
Yes.
Xbox One.
Correct.
So, but guys, let us know what you think about which version you're thinking of getting. Give us some feedback on the trailers that you like too as well. So we'd like to hear from you guys on that.
Yeah, what games are you most excited about coming out?
Mhm.
You know, ours is Resident Evil. I think Horizon is definitely one of them. So
Well, as always, we appreciate you guys listening. Give us some feedback. Give us your thoughts on the next console, and hopefully we'll be able to do another video when we get some Xbox announcements. But this is Digital Bath Podcast, signing out.
Oh, and also they announced GTA 5 for the PS5.